Was this woman called Sex with Sue. Her name was Sue. She had a TV show that would come on. Can't believe Mama actually saying this shit.
That will be our safe word for tonight. Mangoes.
Mangoes. All right, cool.
Mangoes.
Well, mangoes, I'm going to go grab you some more chicken real quick.
Hey. Okay.
And I'll be right back.
All right. Welcome to another episode of FOREPLAY. Tonight is going to be very special, very exciting, because we're going to be talking about BDSM. The girl's going to get toyed. She's going to get tied. We're having like a beautiful bottle of a Spanish Garnacha. I'm a wino. I think that's what you call people that love wine. Have a nice little candle here. As you can see, the vibe is very, very sultry, very calming, very relaxing. And yeah, he cooked, y'all. He cooked, and he's actually gonna put some more food on right now, which is amazing. So I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be in this space. I'm happy to be able to talk about BDSM and talk about it in a way that it's probably never been talked about before on a mainstream level. So can't wait for you guys to get into it. Yes, I'll be chowing down while you give us a good tea.
Gotcha.
So I want you to introduce yourself to the show and let us know what you'll be enlightening us on this evening.
Okay. Well, my name is Demarco. I've been a rigger and dom for the last 4 or 5 years, kind of on and off. And I guess that's what I'll be talking about, just the world of BDSM and being a rigger, what that's like in relationships, how that plays out, how to go about that if you're in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship, if you're just dating, or if you just want to get into it. So,
for those who don't know, what is a rigger?
A rigger is someone who is usually a top or a dom that acts as the person who will be roping the rope bunny, which would usually be a sub or a bottom.
Yeah. So when I think of rigging, I'm thinking about hanging from the ceiling. Do you do that too?
I haven't, and I want to get into it.
Come on now.
So I'm thinking about building a frame, probably a triangle, something similar to the shape of that lamp.
Okay.
Or square box.
Nice.
So yeah, that's my next mission.
It's like levels to this. Okay, so what level are you at right now?
I would say beginner, middle, between beginner and advanced.
Okay.
As far as, that's how far I want to take it, but I think I want to get to the next level, which will be like hoisting and tying to actual objects, which we will probably do today. Which is why I got these. I use these center blocks to kind of hold shit still. So yeah.
And where did you get these, by the way? I mean, these, it's so creative. Like you told me off camera that a lot of things that you have in your home is like multi-use. So what else do you use these for?
Coffee tables, nightstands. At some point it was a foot stand. So I just lined up all three next to each other as a foot stand. But right now it's a table. A dinner table.
It is.
Very Moroccan, East Asian style. You know, sitting on the floor and just commune type thing. But yeah, I also use it because they're very heavy. So if I need to tie feet or hands, or they go around these blocks.
Oh damn! They really can't go anywhere.
Nah, you can't. I mean, you probably couldn't move them, but the way that I probably tie, you're not gonna be able to budge all three of these. Yeah. So,
do you typically tie the rope bunny if she's being a bad girl, or is it more?
You could, yeah. I mean, you wanna definitely have boundaries, which I guess we could go into as far as like entering into this world. You need boundaries. Like that's the biggest thing. You need communication. You need, because a lot of people assume that you have to take this very serious, and you don't. But there should be a barrier to entry for something that is pretty psychologically and physically, mentally demanding like this.
Is it more demanding for the dom or the rope bunny? In that space, yeah.
That's a good question. I'll probably say the sub. I'll probably say the rope bunny for sure. Okay. In certain sense, but that's also why the sub has. Most doms will tell you the sub has all the power, essentially. Because if they wanted to stop, they like when it's time to stop, it's time to stop.
Okay.
Like it doesn't matter what your fantasy is or how much you are engaged in this scene or this act. Yeah, like when it's time to stop, they have the power to be like, nah, or let's pivot this way, or let's try this thing. Now there is some negotiating power to some degree. Like, okay, well I want to try it. You want to try it that way? Well, if we're gonna try it that way, then I would like to be able to do it from my perspective on this. And so, you may have a brat, and they're like, hey, I may tease you by being defiant on purpose. It's like, okay, cool. Well then, exactly. I think
without even knowing, after you just explained, I'm like, you know I do that. Right.
So, and I think that's why it's great to kind of know how to do these things in even a monogamous traditional relationship. Yeah. Just learning power dynamics in general.
It's important.
Yeah, it's very important. And learning how your partner interacts with power dynamics is important.
How has this lifestyle affected your relationships? Today.
Good and bad, definitely. Like good, I don't think my partners have experienced me to a degree, and anybody else. Honestly, I think I know they haven't. So it's good in that way because you have a very one-on-one experience with the person. And it's a very memorable experience, which I love. I like creating experience, as you can see. Like, I like creating shit for...
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah. So, that is a plus. And you get to learn more about them, yourself, through these fantasies or through real life, too. It's like understanding the power dynamics and how they work outside of BDSM or outside of the bedroom, and knowing that they have that respect and reverence and like admiration for you as a person is great, and it feels good. And I think that's where they want to be for the most part. Like most traditional relationships, the man is the leader, So
we want a good leader, Every man can't lead.
Yeah, that's true. But I would say every woman can't be submissive either. Now there is a temporary submissiveness in leadership that people kind of try to put on, and their representative kind of show up for like the first 3 months or so, and then after that it's
it last that long?
Yeah. No. I mean, my relationships usually are 2 years.
Oh.
Like 2 years at a time is kind of...
That's pretty long term.
Yeah, like they're usually 2 years. Now, is it one person every 2 years? No. So you asked me earlier if I was poly. So it may be, I don't do more than 3, but it may be 1 to 2 to 3 people.
Is that not expensive?
If you're choosing the wrong partner, definitely. If you're choosing the wrong partner who isn't on the same... I've had great experience. I don't know. Maybe I've lucked up and just like...
Yeah.
But I haven't maybe once... But I still fought myself for it, because you allow, as the leader, you kind of allow certain shit to get through. And you're not taking control of shit like you should. Because if it gets to a certain point where it does become detrimental to the mission of the relationship, you should be able to catch that. And either have the actions pivot to where it is that y'all really want to go. Or just be okay, well, this is where it stops.
Do you plan on being married one day? Or
maybe. I don't know if it'll be in the traditional sense of Western marriage, where you sign a document and you get government involved, and.
But it would be possibly to multiple, more than likely to multiple.
I think the woman that I do marry has to be okay with having other partners involved, and specifically other women.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is she allowed to have other partners?
Other partners that are male? Probably not. No. Because I've never met a woman who actually revered, like actually admired me and was so enthralled with me that she would even want to do. Like, if anything, I think I seen a meme of this actually. Like when women have like I think it was the my man fucking meme. Like, niggas are invisible at that point. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter how much clout you have. It don't matter whatever it is. This nigga at home is taking care of me so well. The possibility of you matching up to this, I'm not willing to take that risk. So and it's the same on our end as far as like me taking certain resources out of my home to provide for you, or take a risk on impregnating you, or taking a risk on investing in you without knowing where my investment is going to go. I'm not taking that away from her or from my household or from them. Like, I'm not, like, you haven't put in enough for me to even feel secure to do that. Now, you may be fun, it may be cool, we can kick it.
What does a woman have to put in?
A certain level of...
To you,
definitely a certain level of respect, which I think BDSM kind of brings that argument of what does someone bring to the table to the forefront immediately. It's like, okay, are you patient enough? Are you actually loyal enough? Do you actually listen? Do you actually invest reciprocity in the relationship enough for me to trust you and respect you and love you the way that you want me to? Do you actually do that, or is this just kind of is it just in the bedroom, or is it outside of the bedroom?
I see.
So it's easy to have difficult conversations when you're in that world, which is why I encourage people to at least know about it. Like, even if the difficult conversation is, hey, we don't need to talk about all the other shit, but like just in the bedroom alone, let's fix the communication there. This is what I like. And from you, especially from a man's standpoint, you'll be able to tell if your partner's judgmental or not if you tell them what you really like. If you like really express, like, I fuck with this, I like this, you'll be able to tell if your partner is judgmental or not. So if they're judgmental in that aspect, everything outside of that, it would be no different.
That's true. And what have you found to be the craziest thing somebody has wanted to do that you were like taken aback by?
That's a good question. Craziest? Honestly, I can go pretty extreme, so I don't know if I've ever heard anything crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've come to almost like near-death experiences. Yeah. Like, choking can get, if you don't, I encourage everybody to know CPR, which I'm getting my certification, yeah.
Okay. For this specific?
It can be, definitely. Just from a safety standpoint, I won't be doing anything around your neck, but from a safety standpoint, you should definitely know how to do that. Because I've had partners who have been like, I want to get to the point of this level. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, let's get to it. And
have you done any electrocuting?
A little bit with a rod, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So so far it's been knife play, electrocuting, rope, bell, any kind of bondage I've pretty much done. Nice. Other than vacuum bed, which I want to get into at some point.
What's that?
So you're essentially, if you smoke, you know what a vacuum sealed package looks like. You are the weed in that situation.
Is your head out of it, or are you all the way in it?
You're all the way in it. You can have your head out. You're all the way in it, but you have a tube that follows to your mouth that's outside of the bed. And it sandwiches you in between two pieces of latex sheets. You're in a square bed.
You do it.
And
this is crazy. I love it.
I would say the entryway to that is deprivation tanks. So go to a floating tank in your spa. I'm pretty sure they have one. Try it out. If you get anxious, if you get like, get me the fuck out of here, I don't like how this feels, this is not a nice feeling at all, probably not for you.
So for vacuum beds, to get into it, you would tell them to go to
go to your spa. Go to your spa and just get into a floating tank, you know, or a deprivation tank, and cut off all of your senses and just be with your thoughts. But you know, in this instance, your thoughts would only be pleasure at that point, because you're using toys outside of the vacuum bed. So you're in it. You can be in whatever position you want to be vacuumed in, and then you would have like the cylinder massage, like the one that everybody uses, but it's a gun, and your partner would just play with your senses, and you know.
But you can't have sex while you're in the vacuum bed. That sucks. I feel like that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean it would be, but you're constrained. It's so tight, like you're vacuum sealed in there. But people like it just to be constrained to the point of like, all I can focus on and the only thing I can move is internally just pushing this orgasm out. That's it. Yeah.
Hold on, we might have to try that. That sounds good. That's cool.
Yeah.
So outside of what you already do, I mean, outside of vacuum beds, what else have you been like dying to kind of explore?
That's probably it. That's probably like the biggest. Because again, I get pretty extreme, from fisting to water sports to...
Water sports? Dive deeper into that.
So,
no pun intended.
Water sports is the enjoyment of just having someone secrete any kind of liquid, really. It could be pee, it could be cum, it could be, but more specifically, definitely urine or squirt, or some people believe that that's urine, some people don't.
As a woman,
what does that actually feel like? It's a great question to ask. What does that actually feel like?
I will say squirting doesn't really feel like what I think a lot of people equate it to, right? Like, it's definitely not the feeling of coming. I personally just like to pee on people. I mean, that sounds...
Nah, I fuck with it.
I actually really like it because, like, think about it. I used to, as a younger person, say, like, damn, like, the feeling of not being able to pee, and then you finally get to let it out. It's
like 1/8 an orgasm.
I feel like it's mostly there.
Yeah. It's
the sensation of just letting go.
Yeah.
That shit's amazing.
And that's all this is, really. It's like a play on letting shit go.
Yeah.
Like I had a partner who, at some point in the relationship, she's like, hey, you don't have to touch me at all. I'm gonna pull up, just be ready, and like, I don't even want you to, but she had just got off work. So she's like, I'm coming in, I'm taking a shower, I'm getting ready. You get ready. I don't want you to you don't have to touch me. Like, don't touch me at all. So at that point, I knew it was like a purely objectifying position. It's like, I don't want you to be anything else other than what I need you for right now. That's it.
Did you like that?
To a degree, yeah. Like, it was cool knowing that somebody trusted that I could actually provide that much pleasure to them. Now, in the beginning, I know hearing that some people may not like that. You know, like, there is a balance that you have to have, because I've had partners where I've admired them so much and respected them so much that I seen them in a certain light that I couldn't even sexually ravage them in a way that I would like to. Like, the sex wasn't up to where I know I could be and where I know, like, very animalistic. It wasn't that. wasn't at that level.
Do you feel like bondage brings out the more animalistic side, or is, I don't know, because I personally feel like sex should be more animalistic. A lot of people try to make it so.
Yeah, they make it very sophisticated when it really doesn't. It doesn't have to. The act itself is not.
It's not sophisticated. Yeah. And if you're not acting like Lion King, I mean, they don't do it on Lion King, but you know, like if you're not acting like.
Yeah, you need to just tap into your biology for a quick second.
That's it.
Now the process in which you get to that is very sophisticated, like rope and foreplay and like psychologically just and mentally just playing around, you know, throughout the day. For me, I think I've always said, like, for me, especially with a partner, foreplay kind of starts immediate. Like, if I'm attracted to you, which probably wouldn't be my partner if I'm not attracted to you, but you know, like, if I really am attracted to you, I'm playing around all fucking day.
Like how?
If we go into a grocery store, I'm touching you, I'm caressing, I'm playing, like I'm saying certain shit, I'm dropping certain gems and planting certain shit in your head, like when we get home, or maybe we don't get home. Maybe this shit get to a point where it's like, fuck it. Which I've had where, you know, you get ready to go out, but you see your partner putting certain shit on, they smell good, they look good. It's like, we'll make it to the car, maybe. And then by that time, it's like, yeah, like shit, the event over. Let's just go ahead and take this shit into the crib. Or, you know, fuck it. We don't even need to go out tonight. It's cool. So, you know, it's kind of, it's just a psychological play, mental play, word play. And I don't think a lot of people, they're just not comfortable with having a conversation enough to even do that. Especially the older that you get in certain countries and certain places that I've been, the older you get, the more sexual they get. Like, they don't give a fuck. It's like, at this point, you know, you find in Western culture, it's like the older they get, the more they just say the shit that they want to say, and they don't give a fuck who has anything to say about it.
It should be like that now.
Yeah. But in other places, it's like with romance, I've seen a double date where the son and his date is on a date with the mom and dad, and like the mom and dad is just as touchy feely, they dancing just as much as the younger couple is. Versus here, when you see that, it just feels weird to people, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't really understand that. I would prefer to have that dynamic, because if I can see that my mom and dad is like still feeling that way, it makes me feel more comfortable to be expressive too.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I definitely want to ask too, like, because the show is called Foreplay, you know, what is your favorite form of foreplay with BDSM? Like, I know you said there's a lot of wordplay, there's different things, like, you know, of playing with them beforehand, but like, what's your ultimate favorite?
Ultimate favorite foreplay method. Will have to be touch, like physical touch. Like that's my favorite. I find that to be most people's favorite. Caressing, neck kissing, and then, you know, music. You have all these sensory things kind of going on.
Yeah.
So it just entices, especially if you're like attention to detail and like you hear the music, but then you feel touches here, you feel the air is kind of a little cooler, or you feel the wind brush against you, like this little shit, you know, that you just pay attention to.
Yeah.
And you can play off that as the partner, or as the giver of the thing. It's like, damn, okay, I feel goosebumps, and now they know that you're in tune with their body, because they didn't tell you they had goosebumps, but because you're so in tune, you're so close, you telling them lets them know, okay, they definitely paying attention. So certain shit, just speaking, I would say definitely physical touch and like like words.
Oh, you said affirmations, you be singing?
I don't have to sing, but I definitely will.
You make it sing.
Yeah, I'm definitely, but I'm definitely like talk, like I've even all the way down to like morning sex where you gonna have a fucking good day type of like mid stroke, like you're gonna have a great day, like, you know, or you're doing
That's
a great
beautiful.
job, or, you know, you smell good, you taste good, like just very simple shit. It don't take a lot to get people there. I just think overcomplicated, and it could be an ego thing for men too. It's just like a
Thanks for pointing that out.
yeah. I think it could be an ego thing. And I think we believe that we have to get rid of the ego in order to activate vulnerability, but I feel like vulnerability and strength and dominance and leadership is knowing when to take on and put on the honor, not the honor, but the armor of vulnerability, because you're still exposed, and nobody wants a leader who's consistently exposed. Like, I don't need you to take that shit off and you're out in the world and you're doing your thing and you have to come back with whatever you need to come back with. Like, no, you need to put that on. Everybody doesn't deserve that. But when you're with me, when you're with your partner,
Space.
yeah, like it's a different space. And certain times you need to like take it off. And I think that's like dominance, and like knowing that I have, and through rope and through strength and through getting to our biological nature, you kind of like play with that. Like, I know this nigga has the ability to fuck me up, but he also has the patience and the love for me to not do it, but also like care for me and take care of me. Like, that's a very important thing to like teeter
Very
between.
important role.
Yeah, it is, and it takes a lot. So, and I think men have a different approach to that isn't as healthy. We express it in different ways, especially when we're around other men. But I think we need to do a better job of knowing how to do that with our partners. You know, and I think vice versa too.
That's what I say.
You can't just give that to
both
everybody.
Yeah, no, you can't. So for the sake of being vulnerable too, I guess, like, as a dom, are you more of the giver or the receiver?
Definitely the giver.
You're the wow.
Yeah. As much as people think, as much as you think that the dom is the receiver, I think on a slower pace, longer term, you are the receiver, but the intensity and giving a certain amount of intensity, you're definitely the giver in that point. Because outside of the dom relationship, let's say you have a partner that you're with and you're doing this like long term and you guys have been practicing this for a while, your leadership, you've been giving, you can't turn that off. Just like subs can't. They can't really turn that off.
Really?
Yeah, like it's not, to a degree you can, and sometimes you will, both sides will, but for the most part, when it comes to taking control of a lot of the shit and the trajectory in which a relationship is gonna go, the dom is giving a lot of that. And I think most people don't appreciate that when it comes to traditional monogamy relationships. Like, you in other relationship styles, no matter if it's a V-shaped poly relationship or honeycomb or however you want to categorize it, it puts a lot of things in the forefront in which, what is my partner actually doing for me and bringing me? Because in the back of your head, you always know, whether you're in a relationship as a whole and it's you, him, his other partner, y'all all stay together, you all do things together, you go out together. No matter if that's the case, in the back of your mind, it's, okay, well, how is all of this being done? How is all of this being, am I being fed the way that I need to? And if it's because of this relationship style, we need to have a conversation. Now, if it's because of something else, we also need to have a conversation, but I know it's not because of this.
Right.
You know, so, and us, we understand that. We know that you're paying attention to that. So it keeps you on your toes, which is why I love the lifestyle. It's because it keeps you on your toes to where you don't have a choice to be absent. minded. Like you have to be you and be like paying attention to everything. Like you spoke of something earlier, like, oh yeah, I just caught that. Like it forces your partners to do the same thing, because you have to know what each, even if it's just one or two, you have to know what each likes, what don't like how to carry conversation with this person, what they're into, how to not trigger this person versus this person. Like it just keeps you sharp.
Yeah.
But sexually, it also energizes you, because as much as people don't realize, a new experience is always fucking good. Like,
it is.
And this is why women change their hair color. If you're in a relationship for like 5-6 years, if you're in a relationship for like 5-6 years,
spice that shit
like
up.
yeah, you have to. Like it has to feel new. Like even on the man's side, like, hey, yeah, we've been going to this restaurant. We know the shit already. Like let's try some other shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love this lifestyle, because it encourages you to kind of reach further and further outside of contentment and complacency and norms and boundaries. Now there is a certain tolerance level for certain shit, because there is certain shit I just simply will never do, ever. When it comes to blood, not my thing.
You're not gonna sex with blood?
No.
Okay.
Now I may bite you to the point where a little may come if you want me to bite you that hard, because I'm into biting, but I'm not gonna bite you so hard to where, or I'm not gonna do something so extreme to where like an excessive amount is coming out, or needles. Like I don't do needle play. Okay. I don't do blood play. I don't do scat. I don't do.
What's scat again?
Feces. Like yeah, 2 girls, 1 cup. We've all seen that. Yeah. Although that was like it was like pudding or some shit, and like pudding in candy and some shit, just like
we didn't know.
Yeah, nobody fucking knew, especially at like high school, middle school. Nobody fucking knew. But that is not something I'm playing around with. No. Age play, like it's not like after a certain. If you're going anything, so if you're going anything below 18.
Oh, age play.
Age play, yeah. So you have some people who, a lot of these things have a play on extremes, whether it be extreme pleasure that you actually want or extreme trauma that you've actually experienced. Now there has been studies to where people say, no, these things don't correlate at all. They correlate. But to some degree, we just gotta be real about it. There are certain things that a brat may not have never been told no, maybe an only child, maybe, like just enjoys dominating certain spaces in a very specific way. Yeah. There's something to that. Mm-hmm. Now, how you release that in a healthy way could be using BDSM to do that. And it's like, okay, well, I know how to stay in line because my partner will keep me in line, Yeah,
so it can be very healing in a way.
It is, and it should be. Like that's the whole point of this shit. It should be very healing.
Sex or BDSM?
Both. Both. Even if it's vanilla sex, it's like, hey, we do missionary. We do 2 to 3 positions. We done in 30 minutes, but we both have a good time. It should still be a good experience. Like it should still be healthy. You should still feel like you both have gotten to a certain point of connectivity with one another. Mm-hmm. I believe in tantric sex, which is what I believe makes amazing fucking sex. So it's basically a focus on being present, a focus on the body is a temple. I think really came from that, like tantric sex and the Kama Sutra and all of those things. Like it really came from like almost a religious aspect around the act of doing this with somebody. So in the process of doing it, it's like a lot of foreplay beforehand, like a good bit of foreplay beforehand. It's a lot of touching, it's a lot of speaking, it's a lot of affirmation, it's a lot of preparation, like having a partner who's presented themselves to you in a very specific way. It's not like, oh yeah, I just got off work, I'm gonna take a shower real quick and then we're gonna jump into it. You know, like it's very...
I prepare for a quickie though.
Like I said, for me, foreplay is all day. So the quickies that I have had, I've been fucking with you up until this point to get... I already know what we're about to do when we go into this restaurant. Like I already know where your mind is at. We've already talked about it. Okay. We've talked about what we want to do to each other. We just didn't say it was going to be in this specific place. But I know how to get you to like, nah, it's gonna be here. Yeah. Like I have my favorite bathrooms around Georgia already. Yeah. Name one. Look, I'll give you one. One of my favorite.
Give me the best one.
I'll give you a hint.
Ooh, not a hint. Okay.
It's actually not too far off from where sex workers already are. They've been known to do it for a very long time. And it's on ponds.
Claremont Lounge.
Yeah.
Clink. I should know that, ladies and gentlemen, but I wouldn't be Madam Kittie if I didn't know. That's hilarious. Wow, I love that hotel.
And I will tell you that the name, there's actually a guy going around reviewing bathrooms in Atlanta. I love his fucking channel because he gives me all of the gems.
Why you gotta show me that?
I'll show you. I won't be dropping that.
No.
But
don't drop it.
The name of the bathroom type, I think it's called executive suite or executive bathrooms, but they have singular doors. And yeah, if I find out the bathroom has honestly, I don't even care too much now.
Is that what you like? You like to be...
It's kind of cool to have exhibitionist, voyeur. I'm definitely an exhibitionist and voyeur. More of a voyeur than exhibitionist, but...
Would you actually sit in the corner and just watch?
Yeah, if I go to a party, like a sex party or something, I just like the act of watching chemistry like manifest itself in front of me. Like, damn, they probably known each other for... Or they felt like they've known each other for a very long time. Or they've known each other for a very long time. To where everything outside of them, it doesn't even... Yeah, it doesn't matter. And it takes a lot of... it takes a lot of mental aptitude to be able to just block out the world and like... I'm so zoned into this person and to this experience that's happening right now. I don't give a fuck that I'm in a bathroom... in a park, in the middle of the forest, like
you don't care.
In the middle of all of these people.
What's like your favorite part about sex?
It will have to be that part, just being in tune, like knowing that I'm so locked into this person and locked into me that we can have that kind of play or just push and pull with one another. You know, I think that's really, really cool. So, and it takes a certain amount of what you're manifesting at the end of the day when you have extremely good experiences through the act of sex is just, I trust you enough, I believe in you enough, I love you enough. Like it's all a lot of healing things, even if you're doing it out of trauma, even if it's like a traumatic response to like let me fuck away this pain of some, or our relationship is so toxic that the only time that we have fun is when we're actually like fucking, which you definitely, all of us have seen relationships like that, where it's like they argue and then they get to like makeup sex or something random shit like that, which I don't recommend.
Yeah, right.
I mean, makeup sex is cool, but if that's the only thing your relationship is leaning on to be healthy, definitely not. Definitely not. So, but even in that instance, it's very like, we're both vulnerable as fuck in this moment. And we have the possibility of creating an entirely different human being.
Which is insane.
It is. And we're trusting each other to come to the conclusion that our pleasure is so at the forefront of what it is that we're doing. And I want to experience that with you. that shit is that is still very like big. So I understand why people make sex as serious as they make it, but I don't think it has to be that serious.
Yeah.
So there are experiences. For me, it has to be to some degree because I'm demisexual too. So I can't.
What's demisexual again?
I can't actually.
You need emotion.
Right. Like I need a certain level of, like this person would be actually cool to kick it, or I could actually enjoy this person outside of seeing them right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't feel that way, then we just kicking it out. You'd one of the homies at this point, and my body is gonna respond that way. So I need for it to be a really good sexual experience that I know I can have with another person. Mm-hmm. I have to like really fuck with them. So as much as it takes women to have like 2 or 3 dates before they really like can fill out if they want to do this or not, I believe women honestly know within like the first few minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like if we'll get to that point. Now how good it will be, that I don't know until like maybe like is it worth me even doing it?
What makes like what's like the key indicator that says like, oh, this shit about this? What is it?
I know for me, I can only speak for like towards women. Maybe I can speak towards. I know the things that I give off that I think women may feel like this would actually be good.
You first.
For me, to women, if she has a certain amount of
your awareness of what I'm gonna say, it's like
yeah. So
thank you.
You're welcome. You have to, and that's kind of the start is being able to know if you have the thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. That's actually a good one too. Her ability to give without with the intent of like giving.
Yeah.
You know, the ability to. A lot of it you can tell on a kind of the first date. Like, how are you showing up to this date? If I told you, like, hey, this is the restaurant.
Okay. So you picked the restaurant. Oh, okay.
I send it to you. I send you the restaurant. This is where we're going. Or I send you the bar. Or I send you the event. Mm-hmm. Who knows what it may be? It may be something like, because I'm an outdoorsy ass nigga too. So it's like, hey, we're going hiking. Or, hey, we're picnic. You know, I cooked, but here's the food that we're eating. This is you. For one, the ability to bring something, the ability to give, just like you pour the wine. Mm-hmm. It's like, and I'm being more intentional about this too. Like when I go to my friends' spaces, like, hey, I got something, or even if it's just acknowledgement that I want to bring something. Like, hey, I forgot to grab it this time, but when I come back, I'm gonna have something for you. Just the acknowledging of. I am trying to bring something into your life that will, in any degree, make it a little easier.
Yeah.
The ability to know, hey, when I send you this is where we're going, this is the vibe. Depending on how you dress, I'll know your interest level to a certain degree. It's like, do I want to show skin? Do I not want to show skin? Am I closed up? Depending on your body language, like how are you receiving me as a person? Are you giving me anything? It's like, okay, are you leaning in? Are you wearing a certain scent that you know is appeasing or would be appeasing to me? Have you asked me that before we went on a date? Like, hey, what colognes do you wear? What colognes perfumes do you like on other people? You know, like, or...
When people ask you that?
I'm usually doing it. I like to ask them because I like to show that I'm being very... You may not fuck with chocolate. You may not fuck with vanilla. You may be allergic to something. You may not fuck with this fruit. You may not. Depending on that, I know what I'm gonna wear. What's your favorite color? Like it could be very elementary like that. Like what's your favorite color? But I know if you're coming a certain type of way, that's the entryway. Okay, you actually pay attention. You're very attentive.
Yeah.
Because you can't have good sexual chemistry, especially with somebody like me, if you're not attentive. So you're very attentive. And depending on what you've asked me at this point, I know you either listen or you could be submissive, but you're just not comfortable yet. This is the first date, so I still got to put in a little bit
grace.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But then you show up. It's like, okay, are you waiting on me to? Well, for one, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna meet you at your car anyway. Make sure you get to where you need to go safe. Mm-hmm. Or are you following the direction that I gave you? Are you making eye contact when you get out of the car? What kind of hug are you giving me when you get out of the car? What are you wearing, of course, again, when we walk? Are you touching me at any point? Are you trying to break the barrier of touch at any point? I love music. That's the easiest way for me to know.
This playlist is fun.
Appreciate you. That's the easiest way for me to know. Are you a dancer? And if you are a dancer, exactly. Like, you know, how in tune are you with your body? I love to dance. I love to dance
too.
So,
cheers to that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Are you a dancer? Because that will let me know how in tune you are with. Because it's a very sensual experience, and sensual and sexual are two different things. Mm-hmm. So, how sensual are you? Because I tend to receive well with very sensual beings. Yeah. I will say, the little bit I know about astrology is that I have meshed well with sexually with Pisces. Honestly, I don't even think there's none off the board, because there have been signs that are literally mine, like Aries, Pisces, Scorpios, Cancer. Like, honestly, yeah, it really don't even fucking matter. That's why I'm like, I understand it, I get it.
Just a certain traits of people.
Yeah, but I know how to. It's like, okay, are you a little bit more masculine? Are you a little bit more business oriented? Are you a little bit more softer? Are you a little bit more like, I just know how to find my pocket and just, yeah, I don't know. But
so you're I can't call you. You're a seducer.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
I love that word, because it's not the negative connotation to it.
It's no negative connotation, honestly.
Yeah.
Not to me anyway. I definitely feel like I'm a seductress, but I think, like, if you had to describe your you're kind of already doing it, but like go more into like how you seem like ideal lover. That's what it gives. I'm reading The Art of Seduction right now. And so after reading it, I've been seeing how the ideal lover is a person who pays attention to the detail of the person and what they're lacking and provides that.
I've never read that book, but I feel like I naturally kind of understand. I understand that. I've read like notes on it and like quick synopsis of it, but I feel like I've been doing it my entire life, so it's not not something to go into depth about. And I love Robert Greene, so like I've watched his interviews, so I know kind of how he thinks, but I've never read that book. But yeah, I'll probably say that I definitely like being the type of person to like figure out what it is that you need me for, because I like being useful, and I think most men like being useful. And I think most in different ways. I think most people like being useful, just in different ways. Which is why BDSM is so important, because it amplifies that, basically. So, and to go back to, the foreplay question, or just knowing how you know you'll have a good time with a person, is how useful do they? We did, but I know how to tie it back. How useful, how much of your weight are you willing to pull? Now, I don't do pillow princesses. I understand pillow princesses, but I don't do pillow princesses. But you kind of don't figure that out until you actually in the act or close to it. But I know that if I do my job well, you wouldn't even wanna, like, you wanna get very animalistic, very quick. Like, you wanna get that energy out because you're feeling it so much. But it's up to me to control it. So after a certain point, before we even leave the restaurant, I'm already like having to control the urge already, and I can tell dancing is very important, very, very important. But up until that point, you're just, like I said, you're listening to things, you're watching certain things, And you know, it's also coming from your end too. You're notating how I look, how I showed up. Certain like I'm getting that you're attentive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That's the basis. Because if you're not attentive, if you're not paying attention, you can't even fall in sync with me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, after that it's just sexual cues. Are you locking eyes? Are you moving hair? Are you touching lips? Are you, you know, kissing certain places if we've gotten to that point already? And during dancing, you should at that point because they're close enough to you to do all of that. So,
do you expect the woman to take the lead on that particular thing?
No, because I know ways of getting consent without them needing to take the lead.
Consent is very important, y'all. I'm glad that
very, 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 very important.
Yeah.
Non-verbal or verbal, like very important. But I just say get verbal anyway. Like get verbal anyway. I don't have time. Like just get.
We do not.
Get verbal anyway. Yeah, get verbal anyway. You know, and talk to your partner. Even if you're on the dance floor and you feel like it's okay to reach up a skirt or take it to the bathroom, like get like, you okay? How you feeling? Like, and there's a sexy. I think people assume that there's no sexy way of doing this.
It's a sexy way of doing all of
everything. Yeah. So I think they're just like, bruh, why am I going to like stop what we doing and stop the flow to be like, oh, you okay? Well, here's a list of shit that I need you to say before we can go. Nah, like it's as simple as like, damn, you look good. I would love to go to the bathroom right now. Like, what you want? Like, I'm trying to get to the bathroom because you smell good, you look good.
The bathroom seems to be your spot.
Shit, bathroom, parking lot, car. I'm ready to go. We can take it wherever. But bathroom is like, if it's a certain place, it's just the easiest, and you know you'll have ample amount of room. But you have some people, also like me, who are kind of germaphobe, so you're just careful about like, maybe it's a nigga shitting on the next. But that's why I go certain places that I know have the bathrooms and keep up with the environment that I know. Certain hotels you go to, you don't have to worry about none of that shit.
That's true.
And I worked in hospitality, so I know when the upkeep of some shit in these 4 or 5 star hotels are like solid. You know, like they're very intentional about scents that they use, environment, you know, furniture and shit like that. So when I go a certain place, I'm like, okay, I know this bathroom is ready. So
yeah,
if we get to this point and she seems to be the person that likes, she's an exhibitionist to a degree, but she doesn't want to be too exposed, that's where you go. Or you just take it to the car. It's like, no, I don't want to be here. I don't want to park here. This is a little too much. Cool. Find another place or just go to your fucking driveway. Do it there and then take it into the crib, you know? So
yeah,
it's cool ways of figuring these things out. But you just got to know how to be emotionally and physically in tune.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The light is changing so much.
It is.
Outside. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also about to sundown is coming so which is perfect because going to.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's perfect. Question though, because you're talking about dates right now, like I love to kind of ask people, like, say for instance, just me, like if you were gonna take me on a date, where would you take me? Just by
meeting you, by knowing as much as I know, by seeing your content and meeting you, you kind of know where the cool bars are, you know where the sexy vibes are. I would probably do the complete opposite, to be honest. I would do the complete opposite. I would have a fire-ass picnic in a very secluded, breezy, nice, green, lush park that I know nobody's around. I know I'll cook the food personally. I know you like the food. I know the wine would be good. I know that we could have a good setting and be able to talk, be intentional about the interaction because you are intentional. So I feel like a lot of that gets lost when you go into like these bars and these very public spaces where
the vibe is already created for you.
Yeah, and people are kind of just their intent. Now, being intentional. Let me clarify. Being intentional. I feel like everybody to a degree is intentional. It's just what the intent is.
Mm-hmm.
And is your intent to actually have a good experience with me versus having the environment play a factor so that you can be lazy enough to succeed that way.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there is no, to
you
a degree.
Bring everything to the table.
Right. Like you have to control almost everything other than, well, actually the environment too. Because you have to choose where it is that you're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would prefer it that way. Or like figuring out this thing that you're into beforehand. And I like to do at least 1 or 2 spots. So in the morning, like nice, cool day, just picnic, good food. And then that night we could do dancing, bar, sexy scene, something like that. But yeah, that's probably what I would do. To show that my intent is like, I intend on being able to provide the full experience. And then we can gradually move into, where somebody else has provided it, but I just show up, look good, smell good, and just talk nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a nice date.
Yeah.
Yes, period. Wow. I forgot the game. To be honest, I don't know about you, but
definitely. Have you taken anyone on a date and they've given you the feedback that damn, you knocked this one out of the park?
How about taking someone on a date?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for someone's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though I'm a sensual person, so like I like to create an experience, and I get really antsy if the experience is not like coming together. Sometimes I worked on, but essentially, I like music too. So we went to a concert, but it was like a double date situation. Like we had already been going on date. No, you know what? Let me go back. This is a date in my opinion. So. I randomly hit him up and said, hey, I have a free night to stay at the casino in the mountains. If you would like to come with me. Oh my God, yes. It's amazing.
Okay.
Come with me. It's just like for a night, literally. So just come. I'll drive. I don't mind driving.
Wow. Okay.
So I drove. So after work, I got him. We drove like 2.5 hours to the mountains, and while we got there, and I was just like, okay, well, we're here now. And he was like, let's go downstairs, let's go gamble or whatever. I was like, damn, I'm kind of tired, but okay, I don't mind. And
you still did it. That's definitely fire.
Yes. Okay. So we go downstairs and he starts playing roulette. That's his game. I've never actually played roulette. So it was cool to like have the experience of playing a new game. And I wasn't there to really spend money. Just wanted to chill out. I love the casino though, because to me, it shows a lot about a person, how they move around in a casino. I think it's like a clear indicator for me.
Why is that? That's interesting.
Oh my God. I dated someone in the past that gambled our rent money away in the casino. Like, you know how some people live there, work there. Like, that's their job.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
To beat the odds. But while you're there, there's a certain sense of confidence that you have to have that you're going to not make money. When you think about it as making money, you're not going to get it. This is all fun. Yeah. This is supposed to be fun. Just like what you do in your life. I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day. What you do in your life, the purpose that you have for your life, is supposed to be fun to you. It's supposed to be natural to you. So me going into the casino, whatever is the most fun game, whatever brings me the most joy, the energy of the money is going to flow right there. But when you're like, oh my God, I need to, the desperation is going to keep that shit away. So kind of just seeing like a man in that element is going to show me how well he can lead me, So we went down, we're doing the roulette or whatever, and I'm just sexily just sitting there like, whatever, just letting him do his thing. And he was like, damn, I'm getting low, give me some numbers. And like every time he asked me for a number, it hit. I was like, oh yeah.
Okay, good luck charm.
I am a good luck charm.
Okay,
so
I see.
Then some white dudes came over to us and was like, oh, Allen Iverson's at the roulette table or whatever, we gotta. And I was like, how interesting is it that the game that I never play, Allen Iverson is playing it, and we get to play with him. And he's actually from Philly. The guy was from Philly. And so, so many correlations to that. I was just like, this is insane. Yeah. So we're playing with him, and I'm just looking at this like, oh my God. So we go upstairs. We have like this crazy, we hadn't had sex in a long while for a reason. But that night, it just felt like, because of, it was crazy. So then the next day, we took shrooms or whatever. Okay. I love shrooms.
Is it shrooms during sex or no?
No, honestly, no. Let me see. I don't want to lie. I don't think it's during sex. It's not intentionally done for sex, actually. I never have done it for that.
Gotcha.
But,
I haven't tried shrooms.
Ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
I love how my brain works.
Me too.
I'm so afraid
you like to be sober.
Altering it, yeah.
I get that.
I'll do. Weed wasn't really hitting it for me. Alcohol, I just have a high tolerance for it, weirdly, because I don't drink a lot. But when I do, I'm very, I don't know, I guess intentional.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get another word. I'm tired of using that shit, but intentional. Like, I just love good liquor, good whiskey, good wine. Like, I like having the best of the best shit. So, but I never get to a point. I may have blacked out like once.
Yeah. No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's.
Yeah. But so you guys were. So how was the sex? I'm assuming that you had at that point, because the synergy was so good.
I will say, what's crazy about this is because of my weight loss, I think a lot of times you have like, not imposter syndrome, but I was always weird about writing people's faces. I didn't want to do that. Like, it just didn't feel like a thing. So but he actually liked giving head. I was never like a person that wanted that, because I do have a clitoris that's more internal, and I have a piercing there. So for a guide for people who don't.
I love clitoris. Yeah, that's like my. Yeah, keep going.
So, because it says a lot about you to actually get that piercing too.
And your pain tolerance.
Yeah, but it's not even like a yes. Okay, so he made me ride his face, and I couldn't get off. Like, he wouldn't let me get off.
Okay, and that
he made me count down. Like, I was like, oh my God, like I'm like out of control right now. Like, I love that, honestly.
Yeah, the countdown is definitely good. Oh my God, countdown is definitely
I would never forget that. And I think that's like, if I didn't like anything else from our sex, it's just the fact that, like, even he used to speak affirmations to my pussy while he was talking. I mean, eating. I was just like, yeah. She's a different entity in a way. You know what I'm saying? So you should talk to her about it. So for me, like, then I think that next morning we actually had sex. And
how do you feel about morning sex?
I like morning sex. I like morning sex more because I'm a morning person. I don't want to just go to bed after I have sex. I like to feel invigorated, and I feel like sex a lot of times can make me feel so much more alive. But not at night.
That goes into the next topic I want to get into.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah, like it makes me feel more invigorated. So we actually had sex while the sun was rising over the mountains. And he had like the biggest combustion ever. It kind of didn't last as long because it was just like, what the fuck? This is like
it's too much. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's super sensitive. Yeah. So I was just happy. Like, it was great. And then that day, just to wrap that story up, we went downstairs. We did the shrooms, and I wanted to drive through the mountains. I'm crazy like that. I love nature, so I'm like, I want to drive through the mountains.
And not walk through the mountains. Not like let's just go outside. I want to drive through the mountains. Okay.
While on trips. Okay. But luckily, I would say luckily, because who knows what would have really happened. They had it blocked off, like, for some reason. So anyway, we come back to the hotel, and we had already checked out and everything, so we go down to the casino. Imagine, I mean, you haven't taken shrooms before, but shrooms is more of like a psychedelic.
Yeah.
So
a lot of visuals happening.
Exactly. So casino. There's lights everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything's happening. So he wanted to play roulette again. That's fine. So I just go with the vibes. You know, I'm not going to control. Not to say I haven't been in a space where I want to control, but what happened, I'm still shocked to this day.
Okay.
So we're in there, and he's just like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. I love this, whatever. And he wanted to play roulette again. So I let him do that. Not let him, but he was doing that. And I just told him, I just feel like, I feel something like just
you feel that hyping, hyping up. You feel internally, you feel the anxiety kind of.
No, it wasn't even anxiety. It was intuition telling me, go to high limit. So I went into the high limit room. I literally like spun around and said, sit right here.
Okay. And
he sat down and he followed my lead. And it's like $5 a play. Like that's how that machine worked. And I think it was like poker or whatever. So it's another thing is he listened to me. He stopped what he was doing and listened to me for a second.
Women's intuition is way higher than men's will probably ever be. I will say that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why? Like within 5 minutes he wins $300. And we looked at each other like.
I will say certain. Let me correct.
Certain.
Let me correct. Yeah, because intuition is just fed by the gut, literally. The gut feeling you get also comes from the information that you intake. Also comes from the food that you eat.
Oh God, yeah.
How in tune you are with your body. How in tune you are with the people around you, the world. So I will say, women who are in tune with themselves, that intuition is easier to follow. But you can figure that out through ways of intimacy, ways of outside, because it took you drove there.
Oh, so, the drive up there too, by the way. We both are in music, like in the industry of music, and the playlist that he was playing was just insane. I was like,
but again, that takes
so much foreplay.
Exactly, but that takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of synergy. It takes a lot of respect. To be like, I'm gonna let him, he's driving, I'm gonna let him do his thing. And vice versa. So when it came time to you to do your thing, it's like, okay, it's easy to do. It's like, let me follow her on this. She got this one. Yeah,
it was crazy. Like once he won that, he was trying to just stop it right there. But I was like, go put it back into the casino. You want to go play roulette? Now that you did this, now I feel like you're going to feel even bigger because you just won this money. I just told you where to sit. Like, it was kind of like that. So, once he went back to roulette, he won like $400 or $500 more dollars.
Exactly.
And then we said, okay, we got it.
Yeah.
This is dope.
Yeah, that's a good win right there. Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like the time to actually have sex would be right after that. Like, we don't know. The high from that would be crazy.
We didn't even have sex after that. We just kept looking at each other like, is this real?
Yeah, like you.
Who are you?
Yeah, it felt like a real movie. Like you in tune.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good
date.
Yeah, that's a fire date. That's a fire date. I don't know if I had one of them yet, but
I'm adventurous. I need people who like adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm random.
Nah, I'm the same way. I like to do very random shit, and I've definitely had partners that have kind of followed me or even guided me in that direction. Like my first time kayaking was with a partner of mine, and I love the ocean. I really do. But this was in Florida. We're talking about like the real ocean. This ain't Georgia where you just like on
lake.
Yeah, like Chattahoochee or some shit, and you just in the lake. Just like all of the animals that can approach you.
It's a little scarier.
Yeah, so I had to mentally like prepare myself. But she was like, "Look, I do this shit. I've been calling a storm in this shit. Like, you good?" And I just follow her lead. So
that's sweet.
Yeah.
What's your favorite date that you've taken someone on?
Favorite date I've taken someone on would have to be main event. Event, yeah.
There's so many things to do in main event.
Is, and I'm a nerd. I know I don't know what the fuck nerds even look like or talk like. Well, I do to a degree. Socially, they're not as inept, or they don't have the prowess to a certain degree to talk to women or talk to people in general. Because That's what make me dangerous. That's what make me dangerous, because I am a nerdy ass nigga. I like being in my space. I like being in my house. I like watching my films. I like listening to my music.
Oh, just
I watch all kinds of shit. I mean, I got some home films too, but I'm definitely a camera nigga. But with consent, of course. Get consent, please. I'm definitely a camera nigga. I love rewatching my own shit for sure. I do that more than I watch porn. I haven't watched porn in so long.
Really?
Yeah. But I will say, the one who taught me all of this, the start of me being who I am now, was this woman called Sex with Sue. Her name was Sue. She had a TV show that